Working. All right.
Yeah, I saw the feds down there at the end of your driveway with their helmets in.
The Fed?
Yeah, the feds. Yeah, there's a whole bunch of them in this black SUV pull up at the end of your driveway. Yeah, they had their headphones on. What's that?
Did the guards stop them?
I don't think so, but they were looking at your armaments, and they were probably trying to figure out how close they could get to your house, and so they can listen.
Oh,
and I think your arms are so they can't be defeated, can they?
Tim's in the house, guys.
You have a couple of stingers out there that are armed and ready to go.
Yes, they should be ready to go for me. But I heard the Rottweilers when you were out there on the perimeter, and then the alarms started to go off. So I knew you were here, but I did not see the. Is there a black helicopter circling around? You see them?
It was there, but when I turned into Spruce Street, it flew away.
Wow. That is not good.
That's
That is not good. All right, so
at the edge of Boston.
Oh, yeah, let's hope they don't go any further, guys. All right, so we're gonna go live here for realsies. Let's do the countdown, and we'll see you guys on the other side. Okay, we are live. Welcome to Ask Yankee, everyone. And I am so glad you're here with Tim. He was teasing me relentlessly while we were listening to that awesome, stirring music. Don't you love that patriotic music in the beginning there, Tim?
Yeah, I still think it sounds a little bit like Last of the Mohicans.
Well, it's called It's called Independence Day. That's the name
Independence
of it.
Day, yeah.
That's a great route. It gets me jacked up, ready to go.
Not a very original name.
Well, we're so glad you're here, and we're going to be answering your questions about gold and silver stacking. We're even going to get into some hot news and other stuff. Tim was talking about, I don't know, what you were talking about some possible Chinese sterilization of our crops or something. I don't know, man.
Well, yeah, every time they arrest some Chinese students, these two are 33 and 34, by the way.
Yep.
Well past student age, but they had to get their propaganda and their intellectual jumping off point. So they from the Communist Party before they decided to come here and be students. But they were caught smuggling this fungus into the United States, and
That's a little disconcerting there.
It has spread through crops. I think just through regular fungicides. A lot of farmers have figured out how to control it, but they haven't been able to stop it. And the implication is by arresting these two students from the Communist Party.
Why'd you say it that way? Did you put air quotes on that?
Well, it's like Trump saying China.
All right.
They're a little old to be students, but they're here on student visas, and they're doing research on this fungus at the University of Michigan. But reading up on it, just we see how concerned people should be.
Yeah.
And it apparently has been known to sterilize people who have eaten the grains affected with this fungus. So.
Whoa.
Yeah. It's almost
that's
like
not good.
It's almost delivering like a COVID virus in this country.
Need this. Okay, well, that was what we were chatting about before we went live when Tim came over here, and that's probably all we're going to talk about that because I'm not sure I can. That's scary, man. I'm freaking out when you were saying. Not that I have to worry about being sterilized anymore, but.
Well, yeah,
neither do you probably, but it's a big deal.
Yeah, it's an age-limited problem.
Age-limited problem. Okay,
but it's they could very well be doing gain-of-function research on this fungus.
All right, guys, thank you so much again for being with us tonight. We are going to do a lot of fun stuff. We're going to talk about what's happening in the markets. Silver, we're talking about GSR, what happened with that. We're going to talk about new legislation by 4 congressmen about Fort Knox. We're going to talk about that. We're also going to be talking about, maybe we'll get to it, but precious metals confiscation. I get a lot of emails on that, so we'll get to that too. We're going to talk about it. I have an email that I got that I posted. My guess is you didn't see it, so I'm going to share that with you about you and your store. Lots of things to get to, guys. But before we do all that, let me just get some boring stuff out of the way. Giveaways. Everybody wants to know how to do the giveaways or be part of the giveaways. Well, to be eligible, you need to be a subscriber. You need to have a U.S. or Canadian mailing address. You need to be active in the chat. In fact, right now, I am going to start harvesting names. Here we go. Boom. So if you want to get in on the giveaways, you need to put something in the chat at some point during the live stream, okay? Big shout out to, I guess I'll say it, Rig Nation. The wheel is not rigged. Tim knows it. He's checking right now. Did you just check AI? You should ask AI if the wheel is rigged. I'm sure it'll come back and say, despite what Rig Nation says, Yankees' wheel of names is not rigged. Just you can check that. Go ahead and check that while I do this. No, it's a running joke. It's not rigged. We're going to be doing giveaways from ST Bullion, my favorite online bullion dealer, the Coin and Stamp Shop. Tim, you're my favorite local coin shop dealer, and you're going to give away maybe a couple things, right? I got some stuff right there, maybe.
Yeah, that sounds like a good idea.
Yeah, we'll take a look at those. I'm going to give away some of my silver, too, depending on how many super chats we get. Every $100 in super chats, I give away another ounce of silver. In fact, I think I just saw, oh, my word, look at this. I have a 99-cent super chat from John Ruck, Eric Bauer. Thank you for being a member. We've got, there he is, Jeep PNC J5 super chatted $100. My last super chat didn't go through until the stream ended. Glad to see you, Tim and Yankee. Well, thank you so much for that super chat. I'm going to have to give away an extra ounce of silver. I'll put that over in the giveaway tray for later. And then special thanks to all my members, Patriot Pistol, Yankee Cannon, Buffalo Bullet members. You guys are the best. Remember, Yankee Cannon and Buffalo Bullet members can gather with me every month for exclusive online militia meetups. They're a lot of fun. So if you're interested in having some group chat over what's going on in the markets, prepping, stacking, all that good stuff every month at the militia meetups, consider it a Yankee Cannon or Buffalo Bullet members. Buffalo Bullet members also get one-on-one time with Yankee to discuss your specific stacking questions. And all my militia members get access to my community-sourced local coin shop master list. This is the database of dealers all around the country that people that are part of my militia add to and rate, and it's just really helpful for people because I get emails from people all the time saying, I'm in Oklahoma, Yankee, I need a local coin shop. This is the place to go for that. And finally, a big shout out to my mods. Thank you so much for helping out in the chat. All right. Well, did you find out what AI said about the wheel, Tim?
It said, what wheel?
All right. You wise guy. Silver. Let's talk silver. It has gone up quite a bit over the last few days, while gold has kind of drooped a bit. And the GSR is now, I think if I bring it up on the screen, 91. That's not it.
It's closer to 92.
Oh, hold on a second, guys. I pulled up my notes, not the 91. Almost 92. Yes, 91.978. Hold on a second here. I don't know why it did that. Maybe if I drop that down. Okay, give me a moment here because I don't know why. See, I do all this setup before you get here. And then
don't you know a good IT guy?
No, I don't. There it is. All right, there it is. 91.978. What do you think? Seriously, what do you think of that, Tim?
Well, I've always thought that 100 or above is way too high.
Yeah.
And if it gets to 70, I'd be really surprised because there are forces at work with both gold and silver that have it going in opposite directions. The COMEX has a vested interest in keeping silver reasonably priced. And I haven't taken all my 100-ounce bars to the refinery yet, so they still have to wait for those.
Is this the beginning of something, or is this just they're going to smash silver down? It's Friday. It's Saturday. It held on Friday. I thought for sure Friday we were going to see it drop. Sure, they were going to drive it down in Wall Street.
It depends on what forces are at work, and we're not. Gold is still not. In the traditional method of commerce that it should be, which goes back, thousands of years. It's called supply and demand. And you and I and all your followers should be setting the price of gold and not hedge funds and futures contracts.
I can't agree with you more. I cannot agree with you more. We get into that more on a video that will be dropping on Monday, so stay tuned for that. Watch that video. We're going to discuss what he just said a little bit more deeply in that video. But it's down 11%, the GSR, in a month. That is big. I haven't seen that in years, that kind of drop.
You were around when it was in the 70s.
That's true. I was around when it was even lower than that. But the drop, what I'm saying is in 1 month, though, to see it go down in 11,
okay,
the GSR,
1 month.
that's significant.
That's a better way of describing it because you were actually, what did I do, call myself?
No, last time you called me, butt dialed me.
Oh, it's my shooting buddy.
Oh, okay. Well, you tell me you can't go shooting now. You're live. We got, how many people watching? What do we got? We've got 1,056 people. Tell your shooting buddy.
He probably wants to meet me at the store or something.
So, yeah, gold staying above 3,300. Sort of, it seems to be a good support level at 33.
Keep in
Silver,
mind,
though, man.
When it was last shorted, they had driven it up to 3,500. And drove it down to 32.75, and it has not gotten back to 32.75. So that's a very recent position for gold that I thought would go lower.
Right, I know you did.
And it hasn't gotten back there. What did we close around 33.15, something like that?
Yeah.
And,
Bank of America says 4,000 gold, $40 silver by the end of the year.
Well,
I mean, that's a crazy numbers, Tim.
That's with my experience with Bank of America, and they're not exactly telling the truth.
You don't like them.
I would be very surprised if they ever got anything right.
How are things going in your store?
Today was extremely busy, and back to normal commerce, I would say. And the drop of $45 in gold certainly helped. But I did have a deal from yesterday that I had to complete, which was worth quite a bit of money. Didn't quite have as many people selling gold as I've had this week.
That's good.
Yeah, I bought a lot of things this week.
Well, I bought gold. I bought this from you. Look at that.
You did, didn't you? Did you just clean it up some?
I didn't get around to cleaning it. It's already been cleaned. 1900. Liberties. I've been stacking these Liberty double eagles, right? Is that what they call it? They're double eagles, right?
Yes.
Yeah. Ooh.
And what did you get that for? How much above spot was it?
It was spot.
Spot. Somebody's actually selling gold at spot.
Yeah, Tim Marshner.
Well,
the coin and stamp
today,
shop. Not everything.
Today I sold several 100-ounce bars.
Whoa.
At spot.
Wow.
And I sold 5 kilograms at spot.
Really?
And people say, "Well, is that exactly spot?" I said, "No, it's actually the next zero above." That would be, so if it's $1,137, it would be $1,140.
Wow.
Just the next zero.
That's pretty impressive. That's awesome.
Yeah. So, and I've got dozens more.
People are very happy when they come to your shop. I get comments all the time, meeting people as we did the other day in the store. But I got an email I want to share with you. Check this out. And I posted it in the communities section of my YouTube channel. A lot of you probably don't know there is a community section, but check it out here. I'm going to read it to you because I had to share this email that I received with Tim, about Tim and his shop. It says, Little Stacks. What's up, man?
Tim, the final.
The final what?
The final draft.
Hi, Little Stacks. The final draft of what?
Well, I'm not gonna say what.
Of
you know what I'm talking about.
Of the Yankee Tim round?
Yeah.
Did I show you the final draft?
I haven't seen it, no.
Okay, I can't.
I want to see his reaction to it.
You want to see his
reaction? Yeah. So
it is beautiful, isn't it?
Yeah.
Okay, so, but we can't show everybody online, right?
No. You pull it up on your phone and then show it to him.
Oh, that's a great idea. Yeah. Well, here, I texted it to you, didn't I?
I think so.
Yeah, you handle that while I read this. I wanted to thank you for sharing Tim's shop info. My husband, grandson, and myself are new to stacking silver and gold. The local stores to us here in Western Mass are very limited. We venture out to make small purchases here and there. Most times we feel as though the local stores make us feel as though they're doing us a favor by selling to us. I felt that. We ventured up to Tim's shop on Saturday. The drive of a little over 2 hours each way was so worth it. He treated us, this is the key, he treated us as though we were longtime friends. He did not rush us, not once. The interaction was simply awesome. We felt awkward at first while waiting our turn in line, which is very common when you're new to stacking. The person who called in on the phone made an incredibly large purchase, as did the person in front of us. When it was our turn to step up to the counter, my husband and I were a bit nervous to say we only had about $1,000 to spend, which is still quite a bit. Tim was great, and we found just what we wanted. Never once did he treat us any differently than the others. We are so appreciative for all your great guidance and info to help us succeed in stacking for our grandson's future. Thank you, Jay. How does that make you feel, Tim?
Well, they're absolutely right. I treat everybody with respect, and if something's a little easier for me to find than some of the things I have to find, it makes my day.
Oh, that's cool. I know you get you're very happy when you can satisfy a customer's wants and needs. You know, if you really can give them what they want at the right price. I think you probably really enjoy that. And they sense it. They know it. And they come back because of the way you treat them. That is very rare. nowadays, unfortunately, but you have a wonderful customer service mindset, and you're just a great guy. So thank you for doing that. Thank you. I'm glad I posted that, and that is the type of experience you're going to get if you go to the coin and stamp shop. All right. Hey, Little Stacks.
Hey.
You got your phone? You can hand it to him. Don't show the camera,
Yeah,
okay?
you can't show the camera. But that's both sides.
Now that's a color picture of you. It's not going to be obviously colored, but that's your profile.
Right.
What do you think?
It's actually not bad. It's good I got my haircut when I did.
No, yeah, the hair was perfect. The shot went great. I love the reverse, the wording, everything. It's the stars. I love it. So that is the final one. I've given final approval on it, and SD Bullion is minting those. Pretty exciting.
Yeah, we need
A lot of people are gonna want these, Tim. I'm just letting you know. You're gonna have some in your shop when we go. We'll have to have them shipped out.
Well, we're going to have to
Sell
sell
'em.
them for less than the Trump coin.
Oh, please.
And I'm
That's an
glad I didn't.
abomination,
I'm
dude.
glad
They
I didn't
blew
have
it.
a mugshot to contribute to the project.
No, that was a really, really great look. It's actually more like that one over there.
Yeah.
That Trump coin. See it?
Yes,
That's what I was going for. That kind of profile.
that's good.
Nailed it. All right. So, guys, maybe in a few weeks that'll be coming out, and I'll make sure everybody knows how they can get a hold of one or a tube or a monster box or whatever you want to get of them, because they're going to go like hotcakes. I'm going to be buying a bunch of them. I'll probably buy some at SD Bullion, even in the IRA, have them store it for a bit, maybe ship them out after that, but then I'll buy some from you so I can have it right here on the desk. All right. Enough of that. Thank you. I did not know he was coming in like that. That was a complete surprise. Fort Knox.
Well, I understand he's taken over this business of yours.
Well, you think Little Stacks wants YankeeStacking channel?
Well,
What do you think about
if he
that?
does a good job at it,
Yeah.
he can then talk to me about taking over my store.
Oh, no, wait a minute. That
Yeah,
he's
not
been
many people.
talking to me about the channel, but
Well,
boy,
not many
your
people know
store.
that Little Stacks is the brains behind the whole
Yeah,
procedure,
okay, fine.
the whole project.
Stop it. Let's talk Fort Knox for a minute, okay? So this is getting people pretty jacked up. I don't know if you saw it in the news, but this is Kitco, right? Yeah, Kitco. Forget Elon Musk and Doge. Now Congress is looking to audit America's gold in Fort Knox. Okay, there's a public feud going on. It's ridiculous.
Do we get to
but
guess how much is there?
we could. Let me get to the details of the bill first, and then we can talk about what we think this means. A bunch of, I think it was four Congress members of Congress. Yeah, 4 members of Congress. One of them's Thomas Massey. No surprise there. The bill's called the Gold Reserve Transparency Act, H.R. 3795. Yep, Massey, Nels, McDowell, and Davidson. This would require a full assay. Let me move this up so people can read it. A full assay, inventory, and audit of all United States gold holdings. It also calls, and this is really important, for complete disclosure of all transactions involving America's gold, including any purchases, sales, loans, pledges, leases, swaps, any other encumbrances dating back 50 years.
What do you think the high point was for our gold holdings?
When?
No, what?
How many millions of... I don't...
It's supposed to be 8,133
tons.
metric tons right
yes.
now.
Mhm.
I believe at one point it was almost 13,000 metric tons. I believe it was at some
Okay.
point. And a lot of it wasn't ours. But, we accumulated a lot of gold during the Second World War by providing, airplanes and tanks and personnel carriers and destroyers and human beings to the war effort. And most of that compensation was in gold. It was the reason for the Bretton Woods Conference in 1971, because these countries wanted to buy their gold back with their worthless paper. And
What did we say?
well,
Wait.
no,
No.
the economic advisors for Richard Nixon said all you have to do is peg it at $44 an ounce, and that'll stop the flight of gold. And Nixon went back to his inner circle, Haldeman, Ehrlichman, Colson, and Dean, and said, that's crazy. We have no choice but to let it float. And they let it float, and immediately went up to $100, and it went up to $200, and the high point was in 1980 when it went up to $800. So the flight of gold did stop, but I believe it took us from 12,000+ metric tons down to about 8,500 metric tons, which is still a lot. But if you multiply the number of ounces in 8,100 metric tons, which is what it is now, is that in the right place?
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. If you multiply the number of ounces in 8,100 metric tons times the $3,300 where it is now, I think you'll be shocked at the answer. It's next to nothing.
Will we be shocked at an answer if this actually goes through and we have a full audit? What kind of encumbrances are we going to find? What kind of leasing?
There's an audit every year, and I don't think they're wrong. I think they're telling the truth. They have a lot of transactions, big transactions, they've already admitted to. That is Besant's responsibility, and he takes it seriously.
Okay. Do you think he knows? Do you think he's
I
been
think he
fooled?
does. I think he has a real good idea. I think there's 4,000. It was 8,400 metric tons.
Yep.
I think it's around 4,000 in Fort Knox, and probably a very similar amount in the New York Fed.
Westport,
But the other
places, yeah.
the mints have a huge store
Right.
of gold as well.
So what do you think of this? Is this for show, or do you think this bill is
No,
legit?
I think a lot of congressmen don't bother to look into things. They just, they got to get an idea and say, why don't we find out what's in there? Because nobody's ever done an audit. Well, they do audit it every year, and I think the
But
numbers.
it's a show audit. It's far.
No,
It's been a farce.
they can't do a show. They have to know that information.
Do they have to assay it? They have to know what the bars are.
Well, keep in mind, all the coins that were melted down in kind. So those bars are
Low.
Let's see, for the 90% gold, a lot of them are 90% gold. And if they're foreign, they might even be more or less gold, because they strictly just melted down what came in. They didn't care what it was. So for anybody to assume that it's all 4/9 pure is foolhardy, because that's not the way they melted it down.
It says here, it's been literally decades since actual inventories and assays have been conducted with respect to U.S. gold reserves, and the Department of Treasury has lost records, as well as failed to account for many occasions when the vault compartments were inexplicably opened and resealed without new audits. That's from the
Wait. Who says that?
Stefan Gleason, CEO of
Is
Money
he-
Metals
is he a
Depository and
government
Chairman
official?
of Sound Money Defense League.
And what is that? Is that a softball
Independent.
league?
A what?
Is that a softball league? What is that? I mean, where is the authority
I gotta
of
get
the
you Sound Money Defense League on with you. That'd be interesting. Yeah.
Where is the authority of the Department of Treasury, or how about whoever guards Fort Knox? How does he know what's been going on better than the Department of or let me just say, than the Secretary of the Treasury? That's my question. Okay.
Yeah.
How does this guy, who belongs to some softball league, know more about what's at Fort Knox than the Secretary of the Treasury?
Well, this softball league player says the lack of proper audits of America's gold is highly alarming and totally unacceptable.
Wait a second. Are they responsible to provide audits to this person?
No, it's not his job.
It's not his job. Then what's he blowing off all this smoke for?
There's a lot of people that are blowing smoke. Kitco
That's right.
has been. Some
That's what people do.
And four.
And if you want to see people really blowing smoke, listen to your local Democrat, whether he's in the Congress or the Senate, because they're blowing smoke everywhere.
You don't buy any of this. You think it's fine? You
No,
think this is a waste of congressional effort and time?
People are responsible for these numbers are the people who know what the numbers are, not somebody in a softball league. I hope he's not listening to you.
Well, the Sound Money Defense League has reached out to me to have an interview, and I think I might actually have you join them.
Maybe not anymore.
Oh, maybe he is on the softball league. I don't know. I don't know. But there's this other gentleman here. What is it? Cortez. Let's see. Kitco News, JP Cortez, executive director of the Sound Money Defense League, says now is the time for transparency surrounding America's gold. As gold is the ultimate form of money recognized the world over, safeguarding the U.S. Treasury Department's holdings of the yellow metal is very much a national security issue. Everything's a national security issue, but yes.
Okay. Yeah. What was the last conflict where we had to use our gold reserves?
I don't know.
Tick tock, tick tock, tick.
I don't know. Yeah, everything is a national security. They can basically pass any legislation they want if they say the words national security. Okay. But you're not interested in this type of audit.
I think it's on paper. Congressmen don't really need to look that far to find out what the answer is. Or they could have the Besson come in and sit down before Congress and explain to them what they did in the last audit.
Cortez added that this government legislation brings important gravitas to the task. Earlier this year, Musk stated that he wanted to personally audit the United States Gold Reserve at Fort Knox on behalf of Doge, but nothing happened. Only a thorough audit, not a public relations stunt, such as a live walkthrough proposed by Elon Musk and others will suffice.
Okay, let's suppose you and I want to know what's in Fort Knox. Should we, say what Musk is saying? And what sort of water does that hold? Let's say only a thorough audit, not a public relations stunt, such as a live walkthrough for Yankee and me, will suffice.
I'm ready to go, man. You and I? Absolutely, but we...
Yeah, well, why should they, even Elon Musk, why should they give him priority over the people who guard the
Not
the
anymore.
gold?
He done.
Well,
he is toast. Persona non grata. I mean, he is done. Those two are at it.
He's much more intelligent than to react to this situation childishly, as he is portrayed to be. I think that Tesla was so badly injured with all this that the best thing that Musk could do would be to separate himself from Donald Trump and act like there's a lot of friction between them. Honestly, I'm not buying any of it.
You think it's all
But then
staged?
again, I always look at things from a different point of view.
Yeah, you really do. I like it, though. All right. So we're going to do a little Q&A coming up. Okay, I just want to remind people the Q&A portion of the live stream is coming up. Make sure you put something in the chat in order to be entered into the giveaway on the Wheel of Names coming up. But let's talk about precious metals confiscation, Tim.
Okay.
I get emails about this all the time. I'm guessing you hear this in your coin shop, right?
Well, people do ask me, is this more likely to be confiscated than a buffalo or American eagle?
Right.
I say, none of them are going to be confiscated.
So let's give a little background
unless the forces that be, or I guess the ones that are driving these people who are out protesting every day, unless they take over the country, there's nothing to worry about. So because those are the fascists, and those are the Gestapo, the people who are running out there and spewing anti-Semitism, and also fighting with the poor people in the Justice Department that are trying to do their jobs. Okay, and but if those people are allowed to take over the country,
who knows what will be
everything
confiscated.
will be confiscated.
Yeah.
They'll start with the guns, and then they'll take all the gold and whatever else you have that they can. I mean, that has been done. Not in this country, but it has been done.
Let's give a little background for some people that might be listening.
Okay.
On April 5th, 1933, under a pretext of an emergency, national security, whatnot, President Franklin D. Roosevelt issued Executive Order 6102, making it illegal for U.S. citizens to own physical gold. But what people don't realize, a lot of people, is that Roosevelt did a similar thing with silver the next year. It was the Silver Purchase Act of 1934, Executive Order 6814. It required any and all persons owning, possessing, and controlling silver situated in the continental United States to turn it in, to bring it to a U.S. mint, to sell it back to the federal government. Tim, why did they do that with silver at that point? 1934.
They didn't realize how much silver was in the hands of the public. Going back to 1793, okay? And every year they printed more or stamped out more. And every year the government said, wow, why don't we, those are really pretty. Why don't we make twice as many next year or 10 times that next year? And so they made millions and billions and billions and billions of coins in silver. And then they're asking for it back. Roosevelt must be in the beginning of senility to think that anybody was going to turn their silver away. Because what else do you have as coins, as currency?
Exactly.
All paper? Yeah, he was a big proponent of the Federal Reserve. But there was a reason to separate gold from the currency, and that's all that Roosevelt did. It wasn't a confiscation. It just sounded like it was. It wasn't illegal owned gold because they wouldn't have had an exemption if it was.
Actually, they had exemptions for silver, too. In the executive order, it said that the silver of fineness of 0.8 or less was exempt. Silver that was held for industrial, professional, or artistic use was exempt. Sovereign minted silver coins, whether it be foreign or domestic, was exempt. So the bullion.
So what was
the
bullion?
Point? The bullion, the bars, right? That wasn't exempt, right? And then one more. Silver owned by recognized foreign governments, foreign central banks. The Bank for International Settlements was exempt. Back then, they didn't want to mess with the BIS.
Everything was exempt.
Except the bullion.
Well, there may have been another reason because people who were making silver spoons and forks and stuff, were making them out of coin silver because they couldn't get bullion silver. If a manufacturer of spoons and forks, pick one, Toll or somebody like that, if they couldn't get bullion, then they just used the coins, melted the coins down and made it's called coin silver. And if you go to an antique shop and looked at their old silver, you'll see examples of coin silver. And it wasn't stamped sterling, it wasn't stamped 925 or 900/1000. It was stamped coin. And they literally made silverware out of coins.
Now, they didn't have this stuff back in 34. This is silver bullion. Rounds. They didn't have rounds back then, right?
They didn't need to.
They didn't need
coins
to.
Were all rounds.
It was in coins, right. But they wanted the bullion for some reason. I think it still sounds like an attempted theft, a sweeping confiscation of wealth. Maybe I'm wrong, but it
did
I don't know
succeed.
why.
If it was a confiscation, it did not succeed.
That's an important point.
There were many
well.
more werewolves out there and vampires than we have today, and they needed silver bullets.
Well, like I mentioned at the top, people are still fearful, Tim, of a future confiscation of precious metals by our government. And I'm telling you one thing, I can honestly understand some of the fear, the mistrust in government and the fiscal situation they're in. What will they do? Will there be a great taking? But I don't think we need to worry about this stuff. Only a tiny fraction of Americans actually have this or this. In fact, I would hazard a guess that the majority of Americans have never even seen a pre-33 gold coin in person.
That may be. But how many gold coins have they made? If you consider, starting with the 1984 Olympics, they made a $10 gold coin, and every commemorative series that has come out since then will have either a $5 or a $10 gold coin. And then you have the American Eagle series and the the Buffalo, and they've made those out of a lot of series. Let's add up the millions. It's quite a bit, and to confiscate that,
No.
it'd be just impossible.
First of all, a lot of people don't hold this. Okay, we don't see this as primarily a monetary metal anymore. We don't need to. The silver certificates are gone. Gold doesn't back anything right now. The government used to have to, get more gold in order to print more currency. They don't need to do that now. They can print as much as they want. There's no reason for the government to come after this.
Yeah,
physically.
People need to do the math. And if you take our supposed holdings in gold, the 8,300 or 8,100 and 8,133, whatever they're quoting, and multiply that, divide that into metric tons into ounces, and multiply that times 3,300, you'd be shocked. It's a few $100 billion. That's it, not trillions. So how do you back somebody's currency when your holdings, the largest holdings in the world of gold?
Well, they have no interest in doing that. No government wants to do that because it restricts their ability to print the currency into oblivion. They don't want it.
Well,
they don't want the discipline. They don't want the fiscal
realized
responsibility.
in 1933 that there wasn't enough gold in the world to back our currency. Today is the currency of any one of 200 countries in the world.
We have a digital economy now, too. Tim, they can confiscate our digital wealth with just a click of a keyboard, and soon AI will be able to do it. I mean, and when we go to a CBDC or some other, maybe it's a stable coin that the Fed, starts to manage and control us with, if that ever happens, that's where the confiscation could happen, either through a silent confiscation with inflation or a direct confiscation of our digital wealth. I would be more concerned than them taking this stuff than them taking my IRA, my retirement, my investments, anything that is in digital form, anything in thin air, they could get their hands on. That's where I think the bigger risk is, not this.
Well, just keep in mind that gold really doesn't matter to a central government, because it's so small compared to the amount of currency they've all issued. And that's they have bigger fish to fry, I think, or bigger concerns. There's a bigger elephant in the room, and that is the size of your currency, not the amount of gold you hold.
Now, Tim, I still think, though, that there is one risk that I've been kicking around to us stackers of physical gold and silver. And when it comes to the federal government, and that is a punitive windfall profit tax on precious metals. And there's precedent for that kind of tax. You remember this back in 1980. They did it with one of your favorite investments, oil. Do you remember?
Yeah, but they couldn't prove that they were windfall profits. That's why.
Tell me, Tim, what is a windfall profit?
That's making money that you shouldn't make by controlling the market and forcing the price of your commodity up. It was actually the Saudis who forced the price of oil up. Remember the oil embargo of 1973?
I do.
So you're saying that because the Saudis raised the price of oil, you should penalize Exxon because they're multiplying the amount of oil they have by the price the Saudis are controlling. It made no sense.
Yeah, well, I think,
why don't you just go charge them a windfall profits? It's not our fault.
I think a windfall profit is anything the politicians want it to be. Any profit that they don't like.
Well, then you delve into the politicians' windfall profits. if you want to stop it, that's what you do.
No. They don't call that windfall profits.
Yeah, but
Never.
it is.
God forbid.
Well, if you orchestrate a money laundering scheme and steal from the American taxpayers, I call that windfall profits. And I think we should pursue it. We should have Doge connect all the dots.
Well, I'm concerned about this aspect because the Crude Oil Windfall Profit Tax Act was a levy of 70% on so-called, domestic oil producers. If they did this with gold and silver, if they said, you can't buy or sell this stuff without paying a huge tax. Or maybe we need to know just how much gold and silver you have so we can tax it. Let me tell you, you don't let the government know you've got your gold and silver, because that is a concern I have, a deep concern that they may come after it from a taxing standpoint. They don't like stackers, Tim. They don't like anyone who doesn't trust the government's currency.
Well, that's...
What are you
true.
Googling?
I'm going to see if I...
Do you think they like us stacking gold and silver, the government? Do you think they like us hoarding precious metals?
Well, they have no choice. They're the ones who are producing all the gold.
They're making it U.S. Mint. I think I lost him. He's gone down some rabbit hole.
Yeah, you got to understand, when I type something, I'm doing it with one finger very slowly.
What are you looking at? Tell me. Help me. I may even do it for you.
I'm going to get this.
Okay. Sorry.
Okay.
Is this AI telling me
That's
something?
the answer between 1944 and 1963.
All right, what is AI saying here? The highest federal individual income tax rate in the United States was 94% in 1944.
1940.
Yeah, for the war effort.
What politician in recent memory said we need to go back there? She did not get elected.
Yes, thank goodness.
She said that's what we need to do to solve our spending problem.
What they never tell you in this, though, in the stat, is that there were so many ways to avoid that tax. People didn't actually pay that amount. It was far different back then in terms of the tax code. So a lot of people weren't paying that full amount.
If you could hide your income, yes.
It happened a lot.
Oh, yeah.
But again,
but that is the
what was
that
our
is the highest
what
rate.
was our productivity back in 1944? What was our GDP? There's a difference now. The amount of debt and the struggling we have with our GDP, we can't have that level of taxation without completely crippling our economy, destroying it actually.
Oh yeah, but it doesn't matter to half the people in Congress. It does not matter.
So do you think that's possible? They would come after gold and silver, tax it from a transactional standpoint. You sell it, you pay 90%.
Honestly, I think what Trump is doing is going to be so successful that people realize.
You didn't answer my question. Answer the question first before you jump down. Before you run down with Trump. Do you think it's possible, or even likely, that our government would come after our wealth in gold and silver with something like a windfall profit tax or some other tax? You don't believe that would happen?
How do you prove that it's windfall profits?
I don't know. I'm sure they could probably come up with a definition that suits them.
In 1973, the people who forced up the price of oil were OPEC, okay? And, primarily the Saudis, they were pretty much controlled OPEC. So now who is forcing up the price of gold right now?
Wall Street.
Wall Street.
Hedge funds.
So charge them.
Maybe they will.
Why are they going to charge you and me?
I don't. Maybe they might. They might actually. See, I think it's probably unlikely, but still possible. I'm concerned with a few things.
It's something that can be defeated in the courts pretty easily. Just like unrealized capital gains, for example.
That's crazy. A wealth tax? That's insane. They're trying.
It is.
They're trying.
But that's the way they think. And it's not the entire Congress. It is half the Congress. That's the way they think.
All right. Well, thank you for that. That was very interesting. I appreciate you talking about it.
Well, was it interesting, or what are the comments coming from people?
Well, we're going to take a look at that, but I'm curious, whether or not, if you like this conversation, please like it and leave a comment below. But guys, in the Q&A is where I just opened up in the chat questions for Tim and myself. I also want to get to some super chats here because I saw some flying by. We're up to $240 in super chat. Thank you so much. I don't want to miss any of the super chat. So you got a few moments to put your questions in. Tim can look at them. I'm going to make them really big for you, Tim. Hold on. Oh. Here we go. There it is. Now you can read it.
That's good.
Let's see. PSA. We got Scott Hedrick, super chat at $10. Let's build the GAW fund. Thank you so much, Scott. John Ruck, thank you for your super chat. Tiger Stacker in the house, $5 super chat. Tim, can I buy some of your 100-ounce bars? Thinking about turning it into shot.
Where's that?
No. I'm looking at super chats. Right
Okay.
now. I'll just read them off to you. 100-ounce bars for shot. He wants to. No. You highly recommend he doesn't do that.
If you have shot, there's only one person I know who buys it.
No. He wants to buy some of your 100-ounce bars, thinking about turning it into shot.
Well, you can certainly do that.
Yeah.
Yeah. The ones I sold today went for $3,600 even though the closing price was $3,604.
Wow.
Like that.
Wow. Well, Tiger, check it out. Give Tim a call. John, thank you for the $2 super chat. God bless you too. Jesus is king. Thank you. Frank and Bean, super chat at $5. Tim, what are your thoughts on platinum? We hear this a lot. Any changes now? Because that's gone up. Still, anybody coming in asking for it?
It's still an orphan. Yeah, I sold some yesterday.
Oh, cool.
Platinum and palladium. Yesterday.
Interesting. It's still an orphan. John, thank you for the $2. Yes, I will pre-order a Tim and Yankee round. Are they? Yes, they're coming. Tiger, again, $5 super chat. Tim, thank you, Tim. Little Stacks is the brains. If Little Stacks can find the combination, he can then shut down the rig wheel. No, stop it. Stop it. You're awful, man.
And he is well able to do anything.
Don't encourage Tiger, man. Come on.
He shouldn't be called Little Stacks. He's a little genius.
He's not little anymore. He's 21, man.
That's right.
Littlefoot, thanks for the $2 super chat. Did I overpay for a $5 gold coin? $900.
Oh boy, they're in that vicinity.
Is it?
Yeah.
Depending on the condition.
I think I sold some in the a little above 800.
Okay.
Just a couple of days ago.
John Ruck, $2. Why are there over 1,500 here? Alexa not even hit 500. Oh, yeah. Hit the like. Thank you, John. Jeff, super chat at $5. Wheel may not be rigged, but the real prize is the knowledge and wisdom that Yankee and Tim share every video. Thank you, Yankee and Tim, for all you do. Well, thank you, Jeff, for watching. Paige Plummer has super chatted $2. Thank you. John Ruck, another $2. Did I say Alexa? Did any of yours go off? Oh, no, it didn't. John Ruck, super chat, another $2. John's on a roll here. I myself would never have a spy machine in my house. We're in your. It goes off in your shop too, doesn't it? Every so often.
Which?
Alexa or hey Google or something. Do you ever have?
No, actually, in my phone.
Your
usually.
phone.
Yeah.
Is it Siri that goes off on you sometimes?
Usually, yeah.
Yeah, automatically. Never. It's weird. Tigers, $5 super chat. Tim, what is your take on the Trump-Musk arguing? You probably heard it earlier in the take. He said it's probably a big show. Your take, it is a sham to bring out the opposition. Yeah, okay. Yeah, I think he agrees with that. Tim with Tim Maynard, super chat at $3.49. Hi from New Zealand. Love your work, Tim. Do you ship internationally, Tim?
It's gotten to be very complicated, and our insurance and our tracking ends at the border.
Yeah,
So
that's
put on a plane, you can't track it.
PMG Stacks, super chat $2. PMG Stacks, when I grow up, I want to be like Tim. Dale Miller, Super Chat, $36. Hey, Tim, been buying pre-33 gold from online dealers. Wondering how and who determines what condition the coin is in. BU, AU, or whatever. That's a good
Well, every
good
coin
question.
dealer should have guides to help determine the grade. I think experience is probably the best guide.
And that is one of the benefits. If you don't have a trusted online bullion dealer, you go to a local coin shop, you actually can see it with your own two eyes. When you buy online, you're not seeing it. Maybe there's a promise that it'll be a BU, AU, or whatever condition, but that is something that you have to be aware of. Shabui 99, Super Chat at $5. Both Yankee and Tim stay strong for the road ahead of us. 28 Baby Shark, Super Chat at $5. Do you think silver price drops after this week's spike? Next week, Sunday night, Monday, what happens? It gets slapped down like everybody keeps thinking it's going to happen?
I think the pattern of a little bit here, a little bit there will probably be back in place soon.
Okay. Back and forth.
You
I
know,
still think
a
40
little
by
bit
the
up, a little bit down, a little bit up, a little bit down.
40 by the end of the year, man. We're halfway there, halfway through the year.
We're halfway through the year.
Loge, David, Super Chat at $2. I appreciate all the knowledge. John Ruck, another $2. My new favorite round, that stackable eagle head. Yes, we're going to be giving away one of these from the Scottsdale Mint. This is the Eagle Eagle Stacker, I call it. It's a Scottsdale Stacker, 1 ounce. This was actually difficult for them to do. The 2 ounce was easier. The one was a challenge.
Imagine, yeah,
They said it. I was talking to the CEO about
it.
it.
Really is nice, though.
It's beautiful. They did a great job
way
with
of
that.
doing things.
All right. Thank you for that $2 there. Tiger, $5. Tim, if precious metals confiscation happens, can I borrow your drill to put a hole in my boat? By the way, do you have a boat I can rent? A lot of people are going to say, yeah, lost in a boating accident. What gold? What silver? It's not going to happen, guys. There's no confiscation of a physical gold and silver coming. $20 from LC Flooring. Thank you for the 20 spot. Bassmaster Bling Super Chat at $10. Thank you. David Cascio Super Chat at $5. Bitbud $5. Blessings to you, Yankee and Tim. Tiger throws a $5 into the pool. Vice President Little Stacks and the brains in the Yankee household. AU Prospector Super Chat at $20. Tim, what is your opinion on the big, beautiful bill? That's Monday's video, guys. We had a good conversation about that, but go ahead, Tim.
Yeah, there's
Beautiful
more
bill.
good in it than bad, and unfortunately, it's a blend of the old Congress and the new Congress, and putting this bill together. There's one fact that people are overlooking. We get the taxes that Trump needs to get, and if there's too much spending, I think the military spending is going to be a little more difficult to claw back, but anything else they can claw back the same way Doge has been operating before.
Yeah, you're really putting a lot of hope in a Doge review of what is actually passed.
Well, I haven't heard them connect anything with names, but we have seen some senators and congressmen decide not to run for another term. That might indicate there's
Coincidence?
some of the dots have been connected.
Don't forget your tea if you want it, buddy.
Oh, yeah.
It's probably not hot anymore.
There's some great questions here, so when you're finished, we should probably look at
I will scroll back up for those. I do want to honor my super chatters first. Master Blaster, $5. Goldchick, where are you? Scott, super chat at $5. YankeeStacking with platinum, having a face value twice that of gold. Could we see a realistic price twice that of gold? I don't think so. I don't. I think the platinum outperformance is not going to happen. I don't see it as a monetary metal. I don't see, our central banks aren't stacking it. There's not enough use. I agree. Steely, Super Chat at $5. Do you have any friends that have LCSs in Oklahoma or Arkansas? Steely, that is the perfect question for the Yankees LCS database that my militia members update all the time. So if you're interested, if you're a member, you have access to that, email me. All the members listening right now, if you want access to that database, email me. I'll add you to the list. Carnivora Cental, super chat $2. Thank you. And finally, I got one from Garland Tube 3. $2. Here's my $2 for Tim Yankee coin pre-order. Oh, Carnivora Santa, $20 will be buying from you in the future, Tim. Cool. All right. Now, you can still give super chats, guys. We're almost up to 300. I have a couple more rounds I got to add to the giveaways because of that. Every $100. Go ahead, Tim.
You need to go all the way back at the top. And then
All the way back?
Yeah, it's been great
Okay,
questions.
that's at the very top.
Is that's right at the top? Okay.
Unfortunately, it buffers out sometimes. Re-add your questions if you need to in the Q&A. Go. Do you remember what it was about?
Well, just read them.
Okay.
When and if you retire, Tim, is Yankee going to buy all your inventory?
Why do people keep
I
saying this?
hope so, but you'll have to ask Yankee that because he's seen probably a lot of the inventory.
I've seen way too much.
Yeah, there's a lot you haven't seen too.
You really?
Oh yeah.
I'm already
But
scarred.
I may ask you to figure out how to get rid of all those mint sets and proof sets.
Yeah, absolutely. There are certain categories that need to be liquidated, Tim.
But
Liquidated.
the ones from the 50s up through 1964, there are thousands.
Oh, my word.
And so those are money makers.
Sure.
Does the value of federally owned public land offset the national debt? No. The national debt is pretty damn big.
Although we need to buy more of...
Oh, well, maybe if we sell it to the Chinese.
No. Not our farmland, please. No.
Let Trump set the price. Let's see.
Resorting mission.
Resorting mission? What does that mean?
I don't know.
Resorting? You mean like in
Sort it all? Oh,
sorting again?
It needs to be consolidated, categorized, inventoried, and sold.
You probably didn't
Period.
spend much time on that desk. Up there, did you?
It was overwhelming, Tim. I couldn't do it. It was like a little bee pollinating a field of poppies.
Well, you would bring up poppies. Now I'm really wondering about you.
Okay.
Have you been spending time in that poppy field?
I was upstairs. I felt pretty discombobulated up there. I'll tell you. John Rock, can we pre-order Tim and Yankee coins? No, not yet. It'll come out soon enough.
And I'm not in favor of stacking copper.
Me neither.
Trump obsession syndrome.
Even pennies, right? Even pennies.
Well, it's illegal
To
melt down.
No, I meant just to hoard the pennies. Would you suggest hoarding pennies?
Yeah, what are you going to do with them?
Pre-1982?
If you're hoarding pennies, start with Canada and see if you can get rid of them.
Let's see here.
We're going to level off at. Good question. I think the people who are forcing it up
4,000
are realizing that that's a limited future. If Basel III does get implemented in July, there will be basically no reason to be playing the futures game with gold.
Basel III.
It says specifically those futures contracts are not an asset. They're no more valuable than thin air. Actually, less value than
Thin air is actually handy sometimes, but no. Basel III is going to be earth
What does
shattering.
Tim's bumper sticker on the wall say? It says, "When I die, don't let me vote Democrat." In the inside of the 2025 Libertad rumors of limited mint.
Oh, I've heard about this.
No
Have you heard
insight
about
whatsoever, but I'm not surprised if they're going to limit the mintage.
this? Not just limit it.
Well, they
almost
made a fortune.
eradicate it.
Well, they made a fortune on the 2020s.
I know, but
And
but
so
they have,
that's-
from what I've been hearing, I heard some inside information that the 2024s were way overproduced.
Really?
Yep. And they are not going to produce hardly any 2025s.
When the price goes up
nothing.
dramatically, you lose your audience. So so far they haven't handled it very well.
Yeah, more news on that coming, guys. It hasn't broken officially, but you'll be hearing shocking numbers on the mintages for 2025.
Okay, let's see. Silverista is constitution better, but the Constitution is very important right now.
Mm-hmm.
There was another question just right after that. Buy gold, silver, or platinum. Buy gold and silver.
That's it.
Yeah, I wouldn't get too hooked into platinum.
I agree.
Constitutional, we already answered that. It's becoming more important every day.
Do you know where everything is?
Pretty much.
You do. It's amazing. I said 90%. That was my guess. There's maybe a few things you don't.
Well, when somebody asked me the Indian chief and there's a different looking buffalo, I have lots of Indian chiefs and different looking buffaloes. But when the guy said one papa, I said I knew exactly what he was talking about.
That big Indian headdress.
Yeah,
I was on my video and I was surprised. It was just in passing.
I never knew if it was Ona Papa or one Papa, but I am assuming it's one Papa.
But you knew where it was.
Oh, yeah.
Around the stairs.
Around the stairs.
Man, that went fast, huh? I got to do that more.
Yeah, that's the guy that said that you're trying to get me killed.
Oh, jeez. Let's move on. Will you ship to Florida? Do you have a minimum?
I ship things to Florida at least once a week. We're shipping something to Florida.
Mm-hmm. And Yankee, have you ever thought of having a call-in and ask Yankee and Tim questions, maybe like 5 or so? Oh, Dan, we used to do the call-in all the time. Definitely, but logistically that can be a problem in terms of mics. I haven't ironed out some technical issues there, so I've held off from doing it. I have $38K in 401k at age 27. I hate this question. Should I pull all of that out and place 95% towards Roth IRA and the 5% in silver? Of course, it'll be mostly post-tax money. If you pull it out at age 27, you're going to be paying taxes and a penalty, an early withdrawal penalty.
The time to start a Roth is in the very beginning.
Oh, I'm not speaking to the Roth. I'm speaking about what he was talking about, pulling it out of the 401k. Just stop contributing.
It's taxable to untaxable.
Yeah.
And that's why I say
you
don't do that now. You don't convert
a Roth
one
conversion,
to the other.
No. It's tax deferred to post tax, and you basically get a hit when you make that conversion. You don't want to do that now.
Yeah.
Nope. Keep it. Just stop putting so much into it. All right. So your 401k is for a different purpose than gold and silver. Does Tim think there is a good chance gold will hit its 200-day moving average this summer? I don't know what it is at this point.
Well, the 200-day moving average is up just as significantly as you would think.
Mm-hmm.
That's a good question. Where gold is going to settle is a good question.
4,000.
I wonder if it has anything to do with Basel III. I think it may, but I just don't know what the attitude is within these big companies about investing in futures contracts. They may already have a plan worked out, but they don't call me and ask my opinion.
They should. They really should.
I don't think they want to hear what I have to say.
Angel, Tim, what do you think about U.S. citizens that doesn't know Puerto Rico is a U.S. territory?
Puerto Rico is part of the United States, period.
Territory.
And
yes.
I think they have some advantages to being in Puerto Rico.
I think he wants to know what you think of U.S. citizens that don't know their U.S. history, civics, geography. They're clueless.
Well, the same people don't know anything about the Constitution. They've never read it. They've never read the Declaration of Independence. Then they don't know what the Federalist Papers are.
Oh, it's so true.
They don't know who the first president was. Mm-hmm. If you ask them, who did we fight in this Revolutionary War, they're likely to say China. I would say watch, what's the guy's name, Johnny? For that Jesse Waters has go around.
And ask. Oh, that makes me cringe. I hate that.
Yeah, that's how intelligent these people are.
Tim, do you think we will be eating Hoover hogs?
Hopefully not.
What kind of?
There are a lot of hogs in Texas that they would love people to come down and eat. Bassmaster
Bling wants to know what car you drive.
Okay, unfortunately, I put a lot of mileage on a car,
yep.
And I have had two Ford Fusions in a row, but they both went up to 200,000 miles in a hurry, or actually 100,000 miles in a hurry. So I traded them. And the only thing I asked them for was the same engine, transmission, and electronics that the Fusion would have if they continue making it. And that was in the Escape. So I've tried the Escape just for the practicality of the car.
Tiger Sacker Super Chat at $5 put out another 1 ounce Yankee to power your rigged wheel. All right. So we're at 344. Thank you, Tiger. Cat, $20. Thank you. God's money is gold. Yep. JC Super Chat, $5. MX support on SD Bullion anytime soon. Bless you. I'll ask them about that. I know that costs more, so I don't think they use that. Tony Brown. Let's get back to this question.
It's an interesting question.
What do you think? Read it first.
The only tax you're going to pay on capital gains is what you would normally pay.
Right.
It doesn't matter the precious metals.
No, the question is you already have to track your purchase price so they can pay capital gains tax when you sell your PMs. They can just tax all profit over an arbitrary amount, say 50%, at a high rate, like 97%. And there's your tax.
Well, if we didn't have Donald Trump as a president, I would say that was a possibility. But Trump is really trying to reel in the tax situation in this country. And I was listening when I was driving to Mark Levin. He's come up with what he thinks the state should address in a constitutional convention. And he has some great ideas. That is something that people should listen to. Mark Levin has come up with a scheme, including taxation, everything else.
Term limits.
Everything.
Balanced budget.
Wait
a minute. You've given me the hardest time on having a constitutional convention. You freak out over that every time it mentions, they're going to have a runaway convention. That's terrible.
Wait a second. It's all going to be based on the representation of these blue states. That's why you can't trust the Constitutional Convention, because the votes will be limited to senators and congressmen in each state. And not that you have to vote one way or another depending on your party. But look at the votes that California has and New York has.
I understand.
It's not the vote of the states. A Constitutional Convention is going to be based on the representation in those states.
So what is Levin saying?
Oh, he has a whole new program that he says, we got to do away with all this nonsense, tax nonsense.
How?
He wants to
Via
simplify
what?
everything. In
How?
Well, the maximum tax rate for individuals is 15% under his. But it's interesting.
But how? I'm not arguing with what he wants to do. I'm asking how.
Okay, everything is linked together. All the changes he wants to make on the Constitution are all
through a convention. No, you said the convention.
Well,
is it a convention of states?
He's hoping that you could do a lot of the good things that this government doesn't do with a constitutional convention. You have to add amendments to the Constitution.
Yeah,
the amendments he's talking about are terrific.
All right, we're not far away here from each other, I don't think, Tim. But okay, I think that's pretty cool.
I think
we can't expect our lawmakers to do the right thing. We can't. They're not going to do the right thing. They're going to do what's politically expedient. Screw the future. Okay. It doesn't matter.
Let's go back to the income tax.
Okay.
How do they pass an income tax? By a vote of the states, but a 2/3 majority in each state. Several states did not achieve that, but they passed it anyway. And I think that's one of the things that Levin is saying, that we can't do what has been done. It needs to be an amendment to the Constitution. And he has some great amendments. I would go listen to him.
What's your thoughts on YouTubers hyping up the silver and gold market? Mr. Silver Eagle, I hope its present company not included in that.
YouTubers aren't any smarter than the rest of us.
No, but there is some crazy predictions out there, and I've slammed them. I
refuse to add names to some of these predictions, but There's no reason for it. Actually, the most outrageous predictions are the ones that come from people who have an axe to grind or something to sell you.
Which I appreciate with you. I mean, you could play the hype train and try to make something out of it, but you don't. And you're selling it, but you're not selling it in a way that fits into this mold. And I'm not doing a YouTube channel that does that either. You need to protect yourself, but not go crazy.
Silver is going to go to $5,000 an ounce probably in the next month. So you better get these 100-ounce bars I have now while you still can. Or I can tell you I've got dozens of 100-ounce bars, so I'm selling them at spot.
I like the latter, not the former. Can we find, let's see, what else? Do you still have some of your first metals? Do you still have some of your first metals? I do. I never sell, but do you?
Well, maybe. I don't know. You're skipping over some of these.
Yeah, I know that we haven't even got anything. Let's see. What is your thoughts on fractional? We can't do them all, Tim.
Fractional
do you know how many
gold.
more there
Oh
are?
gosh, I have so much fractional gold now. I don't know what to even think about it. I mean, 1 grams and 5 grams and 2.5 grams and 10 grams. I've got hundreds of these things. I wish everybody would stick to either 10th ounce, quarter ounce, half ounce, 1 ounce, and then the 2.5, 5, 10, and 20 in the constitutional.
All right.
But boy, I got a lot of that stuff.
Is there any silver sovereign you would rather not buy? Sovereign silver. Is there anything you don't want? You'll buy anything. But what is it that you don't want?
I bought a lot of things that have come in that are hard to sell. Like sovereign silver from African nations. I don't really have a lot of that. And other third world hellholes. I don't need their silver. Is Yankee doing a good job? Well,
no.
The only
Ellie,
problem,
I can't believe
the
you
only
asked that
problem I
question.
have with Yankee, other than his rummaging around, is he doesn't come into the store enough.
Oh.
If he came in 3 days a week, we'd really get something done.
You get what you pay for. I'm not an employee. You don't hire anybody. I'm just doing this like I'm your marketing director.
listen.
I'm trying to help you out as best I can. But oh my word, you run a one-man show. I've tried to change a few business processes with you, and I get like that evil look. I've done it this way now, Yankee, for decades.
Yeah.
Stop.
Well, you're getting better at making boxes. No, I think you're putting a lot of the things you put out in that other cabinet. We do need to make a lot of revisions.
I
to that
agree.
home.
I agree.
It's
I'd
just
like to
I
update
have
it.
so much to do at night. I never get around to that. But no, you're very helpful in the store.
Well, I think I'm going to be helpful in another way coming up with some solutions that I think could help you. But guys, let me just tell you right now, Tim is one of the most stubborn people that I've ever had the pleasure to work alongside with. So I'm just saying.
Only when I'm right.
Do you think gold price will pause, allowing silver price to catch up? Well, it's the GSR we talked about earlier.
I wouldn't call it catching up.
It's not. The GSR is going further down, though, I think. One of the reasons why I think we might avert a recession. Recessions are not good for silver, at least not initially, right? The response by the central banks can sometimes prop up silver, but initially silver as an industrial metal hurts when there's a recession.
Some significant people in down in the Wall Street area who have been talking about recession, and they have recently stopped talking about recession.
Yeah.
Because this country is doing better than European countries. You got to go back to that one thing.
Oh, sorry. He doesn't want to miss a single question. Finish your thought.
Where does it? Okay.
I won't go. He wants every question answered. You do realize we got hundreds of these. I'm going to scroll to the bottom at some point.
No, you did that one. Okay, this one here. Abled in Vegas. Okay. What is best spot price tool? I noticed Kitco app does not match SD Bullion website or anyone else's website.
Or JM Bullion
JM
or
Bullion,
AppMax.
AppMax.
They all have different.
There's a reason for that. Selling to these companies is somewhat complicated.
Yes.
When you're at their website, they know you're there to buy, or at least to
Right.
consider buying.
Yes.
So with changes like we had in gold yesterday, it was down $5 and then $10 and $12 and all of a sudden dropped $45. It's almost impossible for all these people who are selling gold and silver items online to keep changing their prices every 2 minutes. So if you're there to buy, they raise the price, the asking price, by about $10, and
For gold.
but they reprice their items actually lower than I would,
Yeah.
because they're making up for it. So in other words, when they have whatever their pricing scheme is, they might add $10 to the asking price just to cover themselves. But when it comes down to selling the item, usually, and I've done this before, I've visited key websites to set my prices just a hair below their prices.
Right. Yeah.
But sometimes their margins appear to be better than my margins, but the pricing is about the same.
Yeah. There is a lot of factors involved in the pricing that they show, the spot price. Remember, it's the futures contracts. COMEX is setting the price. And the futures markets are where these bullion prices are set. The spot price in terms of a retail product varies greatly. So all across the board, you'll see these numbers vary. And Kitco does it too. They sell metals now. They are also ginning the numbers. So everything, it's really hard to know exactly what spot price is, Tim.
But they used to say they were tied into the COMEX. Do you think they're not? But where can you get the COMEX exact price?
Actually, I should bring up that website. Where was it? The COMEX. All right, hold on. See if I can find it. I had the COMEX spot price. Where was the link? COMEX Live? Was this it? If I can find it. 3613. That's not the one I looked at before. I have to go back to find where it's not that. It's not this. It's not TradingView. Silver futures. Nope, that's not it either. Yeah. I had it up last week. I was looking at these different spot prices.
Let me answer a question while you're doing that.
Yeah, go ahead.
Do I own any shirts that are not branded Ralph Lauren? I do have a lot because they're good quality, and I've had a problem with, and I won't knock any particular cleaning establishment, but I've had maybe 10 shirts ruined by cleaners, usually because they starch everything, and they still starch white shirts. When I was with IBM, I wore a white shirt every day. What happens when you starch white shirts, the cuffs are like cardboard and they wear. And so I lost a lot of shirts to cleaners who just destroyed them. They don't destroy polo shirts because they know that if they destroy a shirt and I ask them to replace it, it's going to cost them probably $120 per shirt. So they are very careful with my polo shirts. And that's why I buy them. Primarily, other than the fact that they fit me well and they're well made and the fabric is terrific.
All right.
So what are my questions?
Oh, your questions. Hold on a second here. So COMEX Live, I do see this 3613 as of Sunday, Greenwich Mean Time, right? So that's the 8th, 2:06 a.m. Greenwich Mean. If you look at SD Bullion's price right now, it's 36.15. So that's pretty close. What's Kitco? Kitco gold, silver spot price. I see it at 35.85. So that's, or the ask is 3604. So this one, this is maybe the closest, comexlive.org. Check that out, /silver. Anyway,
Well, it's either are they showing bid or ask?
they're showing, see, that's the other thing. Sometimes they average the number to get the spot price.
Well,
So
'cause
that is something they do as well.
The closing bid was 35.85, and the closing ask was
3604,
36.04. Yeah,
according to Kitco.
yeah.
I don't always trust
But
them
what's
either.
which
They're selling
they
their
say the
product
last
too.
trade was 36.13.
Mm-hmm.
That may not be the closing price.
It is extremely difficult to get the actual spot price. I defy anybody to say this is the spot price, period. And because it's subjective. It's not exact everywhere I look. There's always variability for every quote that I've seen.
Okay, I'd like to see what the timing was on the last trade.
The last trade was June 7th at 21:38.
21:38.
That's probably Greenwich, right? Market close.
Oh yeah, right.
This is the
That's
COMEX.
5 hours before us.
That was 6. Maybe it's 5 now with daylight savings. I'm not sure. 5.
Well, don't they have an American last trade? So we're looking at London prices then.
Maybe COMEX though. COMEX silver. Where's the
But
COMEX
it does say last trade
Yeah.
GMT time.
All right, we'll have to come back to that because I have struggled with this as much as everybody else, Tim. It is really hard. I used to trust, say, Kitco's numbers. No, when they started selling bullion, it changed. They do the same thing. Every online bullion dealer does this.
But they don't have to cover themselves
I don't.
because they make the market. They don't have to cover themselves. Then if they were selling gold, why wouldn't it always be lower?
Mm-hmm. OC Stacker, question for Tim. Has Yankee sovereign citizen time working for free expired yet? Sovereign citizen time? I don't even know how to answer that. Thanks a lot, OC.
You do.
Have you heard of Andrew Goss?
You're working at this store as like community service, isn't it? Wasn't that what the judge told you had to do?
Oh, my word. I'm glad my son didn't hear you say that. Beto Herman, hi. Have you heard of Andrew Goss and what do you think of his books? I've never heard of him. Have you?
I've heard somebody mention the name, but I don't know anything about it.
Speaking of books, can I just bring this up really quick for people? 8 powerful books. I get asked this question a lot. What are good books to read on gold and silver? Maybe you've recognized some of these.
Well, considering the hours I put into gold and silver, I couldn't think of anything worse.
Okay. For others, though, that might actually be interested in reading, this was an interesting list.
Yeah, open a book about gold and silver and go to sleep.
How an economy grows and why it crashes. That's good old Peter Schiff. And the Fed,
Someone else I don't listen to.
Ron Paul. And the Fed. That's a good one. I like that one. That was a good one.
Well, that is interesting. That's not about gold and silver, but that is interesting.
No, that's true. That's true. Creature from Jekyll Island. This is a must-read for everybody in the chat. This is an excellent book.
Again, it has nothing to do with gold and silver.
Right, well, okay, fine.
Those are
Tangentially.
good choices.
Tangentially, I'm sure the word gold and silver appear in the book. Good as gold. This is Judy Shelton. Oh, we talked about her. Former Fed, what do they call him? A Fed member and Governor, thank you. And maybe will return again. He's got Trump's ear. Good as gold. How to unleash the power of sound money. Currency Wars. This is from Jim Rickards. You probably don't read him either. Currency Wars, the making of the next global crisis. The Road to Serfdom. This is an old one. Hayek. The Great Silver Bull. I have not read this one, from Peter Croth. And The Crash Course. Chris Martinson. I go to Chris Martinson's website a lot. He has some really good information. The Crash Course, The Unsustainable Future of Our Economy, Energy, and environment. There it is. So anyway, I thought that might be of interest to some people. If you want to get that list, email me if you want to for me to send you a link. All right.
And
so
if you read
few
any
more
of these
questions.
books, don't email me.
Do you think Nancy Pelosi is stacking silver and gold? Mike wants to know. I know she is one of Tim's favorites.
She is. Yeah. That's, I don't think she needs to stack silver or gold because she farts investment advice all day long.
Pre-33 gold or gold buffaloes? DW wants to know.
Boy, that is tough.
For right now, it's pre-33 gold.
Yeah, I
now.
love pre-33 gold, but I really, my customers love the Buffalo.
Isn't that amazing?
Buffalo's done a great job for gold.
What do you have the most demand for right now in silver and in gold?
American Eagles and silver.
Mm-hmm.
And gold, we're probably selling more Eagles than anything else.
All right.
They're most recognizable.
I think if the Fed was ended, what will replace the Fed? Free market? Hey, we didn't have the Fed.
Boy,
Tim, Trump loves to talk about the golden age, right? Golden Gilded Age, going back to the way when we had in the turn of the century, blah, blah, blah. We didn't have a Federal Reserve. We didn't need it then. Do you say it's mandatory now? I don't think it is.
You know,
And the
Ron
Fed.
Paul he had a lot of very logical reasons for auditing the Fed and then abolishing the Fed.
Yes.
And, you know, the U.S. Treasury used to take care of all our economic problems.
Yeah.
It's, unfortunately, the Fed is a privately owned and run bank.
Yep.
And it's just the country that is called the Federal Reserve Bank is huge, very, very large. It not only orchestrates our economy, but also the economies of the rest of the world. Mm-hmm. The Fed is now key to everybody. It's not that that's a good thing, because I don't think it is, but the Fed doesn't answer to anybody, but everybody else has to answer to the Fed, or at least keep the Fed in one eye.
Hashtag in the Fed. Put it in the chat. I'm telling you right there. Thank you, Matt. I appreciate that. Everybody put that in there. I really do believe that Trump could pull that off. I don't think we need
do it.
I think you could end the Fed. I think you consolidate a lot of this, and I think you can get rid of some of the overbearing responsibilities.
He still is giving Jerry Bell a hard time.
All right. I just ended the Q&A, Tim, because
Oh no!
you need some time. You also need to do a couple things for me. Sign those stickers right here.
Mm-hmm.
I might be able to give away one of those. Where are those magnets? Oh, yeah. Let me grab these magnets. We're going to give away a few of those. And we've just broken through 400 in Super Chat total, so we've got some more giveaways to do. I'm going to give away one of these magnets. And then, Tim, where's yours? Tim
I don't own one.
Tim Magnet. There's one. I like that one. This is from Almost Homestead.
It's interesting.
This is what he's looking at.
Oh no! It makes me look like one of the old coin dealers I used to do.
We'll get you that one. You're like, this is iconic. This is the classic. This is on your. This is the one on your safe.
Yeah, that's pretty. Good.
Everybody loves that one, so we'll give one of those away too.
Who does these things anyway?
Almost Homestead. He's a YouTuber.
Nice.
Mods, please put Almost Homestead's channel in the chat. One of you, please do that. Is there another one in here?
Very good. You got some.
He's really
serious
good at it.
artistry in there.
He's really good at it. So we'll give away 3. One of each of these. Here, you can pick your color. Red, black, or blue. You have to sign these. They're gonna want them signed.
That one?
Red might stand out over it. I don't know.
Oh, which?
On all of this. You have to sign these two. I will take these out. You have to sign these. People want them signed. They don't. Whoops. They don't. They don't like them when they come unsigned by you. So do that, and then.
I'm pointing your microphone out in the backyard because I think I saw some feds.
Oh, feds. Oh, yeah. Okay, fine. All right, you can.
And I don't think they're ice.
Hold on. They're not nice or not
I
ice.
don't think they're ice.
Here you go. You can sign those, and then when you get a moment, look at some of these and tell me what you think for a giveaway or two. A what?
Tissue?
No.
Because I've been handling things.
Oh, you can't. Oh, I
can barely
can.
see through the glass.
All right, hold on. That I did not come prepared for. Hold on. Here you go. Use that.
People say I need all the pen.
I need an auto.
I understand there are several for sale in Washington.
Oh, that's a great idea. Auto pen. Tim Marshner auto pen. I like that. All right. So, yeah, we got some half ouncers. This one's the
This
Wildlife?
works really well.
Oh, that is the best. This is meant for it. So,
Yeah, this is what is this? Platinum or palladium?
no, it's not. It's silver. This is the 1/2 ounce, 2006. I'll hold that up there. You can see it. You can do that if you want. Put that there. Actually, yeah, put that there. You seen this? This is something else that you had. E.T.
Oh,
And
did you
NASA.
find this stuff when you were
This was a
running?
long time ago. No, this was from, you gave this to me like last year for a potential giveaway. It's in this green bag.
Yeah, that's kind of cool.
NASA. So pick one or two, and we'll put the others aside for another day.
I think you can use them all if you want.
All? Holy smokes! All right.
We got some good people out there.
We do have a lot of good people. We got 1,689 watching right now. Wow. All right. Well, man, this may be a pretty epic giveaway tonight. All right. So we've got. Let's see. Let's just put these down. This one, that's a classic half ouncer right there. That was the United States. Whoops, sorry. United States, Canada.
Signature
There we
keeps
go.
coming out different every time. This has a different.
That is so cool. E.T. Phone Home. Wow. That's the Nui mint. Looks like it.
Looks like ET.
Yeah, it is ET, but I'm trying to figure out the mint. Republic of Nui. Yeah, Nui mint. We got a couple buffaloes. A few buffaloes. Well, Mrs. Yankee's mailings are going to be a challenge. Well, let's not do them all. We'll just do maybe 4. And that NASA one, 5. That's it. We'll hold these off for another time. They're flying, I know, right? They're all putting stuff in the chat in order to do giveaways. Tim, you are welcome to stay on all these giveaways, or if you need to split, we can have it go either way for you. It takes a little while to get through these. There's some signed ones, right? Boom. Boom. Awesome. So those in there, and then we'll do some pocket pingers too. We'll do 3 pocket pingers. 3 pocket pingers, all right. So we've got, and then we broke over 445 super chatters. Boy, I hope I didn't miss any. Let me run back here. There may be some questions for you in here too, Tim. Hold on. Where do we at? Two largest. Oh yeah, hold on. Here we go. Tiger $5. Put another. Okay, we already read that one. Here's Joel. I'm gonna move this over my eyes. All right, sorry. Joel Zoldervane super chatted $20. I've heard that we had the two largest months of silver contracts standing for delivery. Do you think that has something to do with the silver price now, and how do you think that will affect the price in the near future? Two largest months of silver contracts standing for delivery. I read that too.
Yeah,
They want it. They want it.
They're linked. And,
Yes.
Yes. I suspect that because the COMEX is not able to make many deliveries,
Yep.
I suspect that at some point they'll change the rules. They'll have a different requirement for
Yep.
silver reserves.
Let's see. Carnivore Santa super chat $2. Thank you. C Wolf super chat $10. Check out price online is way different than the price they say they're selling for. That is true. That is true. Barry Woodward super chat $5. SD Bullion should sport you with their logo. Yeah, you need an SD Bullion shirt. Maybe we'll pick one of those up when we go over to visit
Point out
them.
the fact that my mic wasn't in place.
Oh, see, you pushed it out.
I did.
Yeah, you did. That's on you,
the
man.
sound they were picking up is those two FBI guys on your back lawn.
PMG Silver Stack super chat at $5. Could you sell 10 1-gram gold pieces as a tenth of an ounce without the high premiums? Thanks, Yankee. I'm almost at 100 subs. Tim, you're the man. Can you sell 10 1-gram gold pieces as a tenth of an ounce without the high premiums? Does that
No, it isn't, because tenth of an ounce is
right?
3.1 grams, right?
Yeah,
And so
it won't add up.
So you'd have 3/10 of an ounce plus.
I'm always late to the party. I just made a bad mistake and bought some ultra
This guy
break.
says, make sure you blame it on Yankee.
Sure, why not?
I do anyway.
I know, right? Ron Navy. I'm always late to the party. I made a bad mistake and bought some ultra brake packs. Ultra brake packs. Is that the Valcambi thing or those sectional things? Never do that again. Tim, love your shop. Your clutter is way more valuable than mine. Ultra brake packs. Valcambi?
Well, if that is
Those
probably
stacker bars?
how you would describe them.
I don't know, ultra brake
But
packs. I don't know.
if they're combi bars, that
Combi
makes a little
bars.
more sense.
Yep. All right. We've got your prices are very competitive for online. How are you able to offer the prices you do given the size of your businesses, JC? Yeah, thanks for the
This guy
$5.
said, I never win anything, so my being here increases everybody else's odds.
Wait, what? Did you answer my question? No, you.
No, I was just.
That's it. I got to hide this chat from you. You're so distracted.
Okay. Well, these chat people are interesting.
I know. They are very interesting. Let's finish the super chatters.
Okay, was there a question there?
Yeah, there was. Your prices are very competitive for online. How are you able to offer the prices you do given the size of your business? GC wanted to know that.
I have an excellent wholesaler, and I buy a lot in the store.
Yes.
And
Yes, you
somebody
do.
once told me that I buy more than most of the online dealers.
You're incredible that way.
But yeah, I buy everything. And
Big mistake.
big mistake. Yeah, big
Don't
mistake.
buy everything, Tim. You're so good. I mean, people bring in the worst stuff, and you're so patient
But
and kind.
buying all
And then
these
they're
100-ounce bars allows me to sell them
want
for
it?
melt.
Do you want? I know. Do you want to buy this, Tim? And I looked at you, and I'm like, big eyes, going, no. And he's like, well, sure. I'm like, you're so good. And
give it to
that's
Yankee.
why I could never run your shop. I couldn't do what you're doing. I couldn't do that. I'd have to focus. I'd have focused hours. I'd have it done, not by appointment only, but it would be different. It would scale down to what is the most important. And I wouldn't take, sterling silverware. And I wouldn't take, if I brought in a silver mint set, or no, a proof set, a clad proof set. And I said, would you buy this, Tim? No, you wouldn't because I'm Yankee. But if somebody did that, you'd buy it. You'd buy it.
I'd pay the right price for them.
Oh, man. You're so good. Ah.
I look at it this way. In the end, I can always take them to the bank. And I'm
know,
not
but
losing,
that's
not
a
losing
lot of
money.
Can I tell you what my 92-year-old dad said to me last week about you after watching the behind-the-scenes video? And I respect my dad a lot. He respects you. He looks up to you. He loves watching Tim videos. My 92-year-old dad said, I wonder if Tim doesn't have gold and silver. Sometimes I wonder if gold and silver has Tim.
No, there's no attachment.
There's none?
None.
There's no attach. But the job, the shop, it seems that you're a workaholic.
Well, I used to, back in the early 80s, I would go buy bags of junk silver from Ed Lee, Lee Numismatics.
Okay.
And I figured, well, these are all carefully put away. And let's see, I would also used to buy, I had a great coin collection. After about a year in business, all the junk silver got mixed with the inventory in the store, and all my collector coins, except for a few 20-cent pieces, was part of the inventory of the store. And so when you need to make a living, and keep in mind, back in the early days, I had to provide for my 4 kids, so I had to be careful about what I spent. It still is necessary to the business to not turn people away.
I understand.
I didn't turn people away, but it kind of ties up a lot of money.
Yeah.
But I never tie up more money than I can get for whatever the item is.
I think what he was referring to, though, is time and the amount of effort. When you're working till 3 a.m. in the morning.
Time is flexible.
3 a.m.?
No. 24 hours every day.
F1. So you need to do
and
more
I've
of
got
that.
Jack, who can do a lot more.
Well, Jack is concerned about you as well. He and I were chatting about
Jack
you.
he's
Jack doesn't want you falling down the stairs.
Yeah, that's a lot of this stuff is on the stairs. It doesn't belong there.
Yeah, and I don't want you found on the floor. I'm very concerned. I think a partial liquidation is the wise thing to do. It doesn't mean you stop working. It just needs to get cleaned out. We got to get a good price, clean it out, and then you can focus on what it is that you're doing.
I'm not going to have an outdoor yard sale just that, though.
Well, we may have a yard sale some way. I don't know.
Well,
we got to do something.
Tell your friends at SD Bullion to send a truck.
I've already had a conversation with Cole. We've had a conversation about doing just that.
I have a lot of stuff that even coin dealers don't want.
Well,
but
Tim, I'm trying to help you, buddy. I really am. I want to see it. I don't want you to ever retire, but honestly, I like to see you just a little less. Have a little more. I mean,
every day before I leave, I spend a half an hour organizing.
Wow. F1, we're going to go see that movie, right?
Yeah.
You and I? I'm looking forward to that. It looks like a fun movie.
It looks very well.
You'll have a critical eye, though. You might be like, that's not the way they do it.
There's been some really good movies made.
Yep.
What's his name? Is it John Frankenheimer? He made the movie Grand Prix. That was excellent. That was back in 1965 or 66.
Yeah. Who stars in it?
He had his own show.
Why am I drawing a blank? Because I'm old.
I can see
F1. Yeah, I can see his face. Yeah, it looks like a fun movie. We'll have to go see that together. All right, so we've got a few here.
I'm just going to hammer up for a little while.
Good. You do that. I'm going to go full screen on this because I need to actually just thank a few more people. Chuck, thank you for the $2. Not Rignation. Love it. Richard Magnuson, Super Chat, $20. Thank you so much. Tiger for the $5. And the Fed and the rigged wheel. Thanks, Tiger. And also another $5. When are you going to open Mrs. Tiger's packages? Yes, I need to do that. Oh, man. You know what? I have another package, Tim, over there I was going to open with you, but we're running out of time. Maybe you should open that and show some people.
Okay.
Stuff. Hold on, Tiger. Maybe I can open
James Garner.
No, it's not James Garner.
Yeah,
F1? The movie?
The Grand Prix.
Oh, Grand Prix. Yeah, F1 movie has this guy.
Oh, Brad Pitt.
Brad Pitt, thank you. Yeah. But, okay, so you're talking about a different one than I was. All right. So we've got this. Now, this right here, Mrs. Tiger, this is from Mrs. Tiger to Little Stacks. I'm almost afraid to open this because I actually have not looked yet. Is that it? Okay. Oh, no. Tiger always scares me here. All right. Mrs. Tiger says this to Little Stacks. Dear Little Stacks, I thought it would be nice for you to get a letter from me, a.k.a. Auntie Snake, a.k.a. Mrs. Tiger. I have so much respect for you and the hard work you do. I am so glad Tiger sent you the Bitcoin to protect you from your dad's mind control. I'm not letting Little Stacks read this. As you know, I am a dog trainer and a breeder, so I want to send you a silver gift. The coin I am including is a Doge coin to add to your kryptonite protection from your dad and his evil ways. Please try to keep it from your dad's sticky fingers. We learned our lesson from when your dad stole your Batarang. Oh, man, I did not steal it. Remember, if your dad kicks you out, you have a home here with a... What? Hope you love dogs. We have many, and I will cook you really good Ukrainian cuisine. Keep up the hard work with Freak Nation, as it is hard to shut your dad's wheel because we all know it's rigged. All love and respect, Auntie Snake, a.k.a. Mrs. Tiger, but you can call me Auntie. All right. What did you get him? He's not around right now, so I will have to... One silver round, Dogecoin round. Oh, my
Didn't know there was one.
Yeah, well, it's Doge. The cryptocurrency, not the not the reduction in federal spending. Oh my goodness, it's for Little Stacks. All right, I will give this to Little Stacks. I'll let him read it. Thank you, Mrs. Tiger. And this one, Mrs. Yankee doesn't do. This is Yankee stacking, though. This is from Mrs. Tiger to Yankee. All right. And then we'll get to the giveaways, I promise. Tim is also opening up a box next to us from, I think it's the first name only. It is Peggy. Peggy from Alaska. Tim will show you what that is.
She lives very near an active volcano.
She lives near a what?
An active volcano.
Wow. Okay, let me just whip this out. Yankee, I thought it was time we get acquainted. Oh, this is Mrs. Tiger. First of all, which I know you and my husband Tiger fight all the time over your wheel. I want to express to you my sadness over this war. Also, as you know, I'm a dog trainer and breeder. Yes, very good dog trainer and breeder. I appreciate your shout outs to my channel. So very nice of you. Mods, please throw Mrs. Tiger's channel, or Tiger, if you're in there, throw your wife's channel in the chat, please, so people can sub her. Because of which, I want to send you a silver gift denoting my work in the canine industry, but also for another reason. The coin I am including is a Doge coin to add to your kryptonite. This way, maybe you will be a little weaker, so you fight my husband less, and he will get some sleep at night. Just like Tiger's rules, you are not allowed to sell it, gaw it, or find any other loophole to get rid of it, or Tiger will hunt you. I hope you enjoy your gift, as is given with love. I only have one last thing to say. It is rigged. All my love and respect, Mrs. Tiger. Thank you. So I can't gaw this? There's no way I can give this away? Yeah, it's another one for Yankee's Deep Stack Collection. Doge. Oh, my goodness. Fine. I'm looking for a loophole, though. I will definitely continue to look for a loophole. All right, so Tim, what do you got there?
Okay, this is from Peggy in Alaska.
Peggy in Alaska.
It's very close to a volcano. When she told me where she was, I went and listened to some of the news reports, and almost everybody was saying, this thing's going to erupt any day now.
Yep.
So I hope it hasn't in the meantime. But yes, she has one for you and one for me. These are Alaska.
Hold them up there.
Oh, up here? Yeah, I
Yeah.
got to show the. Okay, this one from, these are Starbucks. Been there. Mugs from Alaska. That's one.
Wow, that is
And this is the other one.
pretty.
Very
Wow.
nice. I mean, there are a lot of things. I'm not sure. They are different, but there's a lot of elements of
Oh, Peggy,
living in
thank
Alaska.
you so much.
And we have a food warmer.
A what?
Food warmer.
Oh, have you ever been to Alaska?
I haven't, but I've threatened to tell myself to go to Alaska many times.
Oh, well, hey,
I
there's
had
a
it-
thought. Why don't you close the shop and take a nice Alaskan cruise?
That sounds like a great idea. They do have quite a long coastline in Alaska.
Oh, I think that would be a fun
There's a
cruise.
food warmer. You throw that over your food that
What
you
is
can keep
this?
it warm.
What is it? Oh, okay. Wow.
So if you live in a cold climate, you need something like that.
That is really pretty. That
Like
was so
Alaska or New
nice.
Hampshire, for example.
I take New Hampshire over Alaska in the winter, that's for sure. That is really cool. Thank you, Peggy, very much. That's very kind of you. Wow. I hope she watches that. All right, so now let's get these things back. Giveaway. We'll start. Actually, I should start. Sticker. I'm going to give some of this stuff away too. Some $50, 5 dimes. We'll start with the dimes. We'll get to the $50. There we go. Sticker, 5 dimes, 2 $50. A half ounce. This is the Canadian, United States. What was this called? I can't remember the name of it. It was for $2. It was First Special Service Force, Premier Force. This was USA, Canada, 2015, a commemorative. We'll give that half ounce away. And then this was the Wildlife half ounce. That's a wolf. It's a wolf. That's cool. And then this eagle. That looks like a nice one. Canadian half ounce eagle. And then this NASA. That's really cool. I like this one. The NASA round. Actually, is that a coin? No, 2022, or they just date it. $10. That's a coin? This is $10 in 2022. Then we'll do these 2 magnets signed. All right, so that's Tim.
It
And
might as well
then
be. It's 1 ounce of fine silver.
There it is. NASA coin. We'll do that. And then the ET. Now, my rounds. So we're at, did I get all throughout the super chats? Probably didn't. Yankee, 9,000 for 200,000 subscribers. When's the party? Thank you, Eric, for the $2. Yes, 200,000 subscribers is coming close. And we're going to be giving away a lot of silver and some gold on that live stream. You're not going to want to miss it. AU Prospector Super Chat, $20. Thank you for ever sharing your knowledge. S. McDonald Super Chatted, $2. What do you guys think of goldbacks? I did a whole video with Silver Dave on goldbacks. Tim, what do you think of goldbacks?
Don't have the time for them.
Yep. It's pretty much what we came down when I was with Silver Dave on it, too. Carnivore Santa Super Chat at $5. Thank you. And Tiger, thank you, Yankee, for reading Mrs. Tiger's letters and gifts. Now, don't get sticky fingers and put that coin with Little Stacks, not with the stolen batarang. I'll give it to him. He still has the batarang. S. McDonald, $5. What do you guys think of goldbacks? Yes, we don't think they're worth stacking. Listen, check out the video I did with Silver Dave on it. We discuss it at length. I think they could be used in a barter scenario, but there's better ways of protecting yourself than spending the extra premium on goldbacks. That's my opinion. Barry Woodward, $25. Yankee, You and Tim creating a great stream. Wow. Thanks a lot. Well, we're almost to 500, but we're at 480. So let's start pulling out the rounds here. So we've got 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. 4 rounds there. And should I give another half? Actually, you know what I'm going to do? A Benji. Where are the Benjis? There's a Benji in here, right? Yep. So 5 dimes, 1 Benji, 2 Kennedys. 2 Kennedys. These are all 90s. We'll get to the magnets. We'll do 2 separate magnets. We'll then do the half ounces from Tim. We'll do the 1 ounce NASA, the ET, the 4 rounds from mine. And that'll do it. And then at the very end, we'll give away the stacker round from SD Bullion. Let me just show that one really quick because that's a pretty one too. Right there is the stacker round. 1, 2, and 5 ounce. This is the 1 ounce. We're doing a 1 ounce. In fact, I'll put my 1 ounce on the desk here so I don't forget.
That's also, all these are made by Scottsdale.
These are all Scottsdale, yeah. Scottsdale Stacker. Did you know that they trademarked the word stacker?
Oh, I didn't know that. Well, did they buy Academy? Because Academy had these years ago.
Academy?
Yeah, that's where
they've had to deal with people using that word right there. If you look. Stacker round. You can see on the side there is the trademark sign. And I asked the CEO, I was like, dude, are you coming after me for being Yankee stacking? He's like, no, you're fine. He said, yeah, but we did trademark stacker. Wow.
Well, it's stacker and you're stacking.
Yes, I know. Yeah, I'm good. I'm safe. All right, let's do the wheel, guys. So that means I'll give you a few more seconds to put something in the chat before I start harvesting the names. Put something in the chat. And I'll get the wheel up and running. But we'll do this. Let's see, where it is. Let's get rid of that. And there we go. Let's shrink this down. Restore the chat. There we go. Yeah, look at them all flying in. There we go. Lots of names tonight. All right. Let's stop. And then we'll harvest. And let's switch over here. Paste the names in. Oh, that's not how we do it. Try that again. Oh, why didn't it? Hold on. I must have hit start again. Hold on. Harvest. Huh. Nope, that didn't work. Why am I not seeing? I do see all the names here. Hold on. Give me 1 second, guys. I don't know why. You're about to paste the text. Stop. Copy. Start one more time. All right, that's better. I think it was user error. I was clicking the wrong thing. All right, you should see the names appear in just a few seconds. A lot of names. Lots and lots of names. Yes. It's so long that the wheel actually says, do you want to end this or do you want to keep loading? I'm like, yes, keep loading. All right, there we go. 1,114. Let's sort by name. Okay. There won't be any duplicates. I'll just scroll through this. You can see all the C's. Wow. All the D's. There are the E's, F's. Now I'm sure somebody's going to say, I don't see my name. G, H, I, J, K. Oops, still J's. K, L, M's. Wow. N's, O, P, Q, R, S, T's, U's, V's, W's, and there's, actually, I don't see Yankee in there. Didn't I put something in? Maybe I didn't. I thought I did. Let me put Yankee stacking, and that's not a good thing because, as most people know, if it lands on my name, I have to give away an extra ounce of silver. So we don't want that to happen. All right, so let's just shuffle this up. The first giveaway we're going to do is a signed Yankee sticker, signed by Tim, and if you want, by me as well. All right, let's spin for that. Good luck, everyone. Again, if you win, you need to email me what you won to YankeeStacking@gmail.com. YankeeStacking@gmail.com. All right, so we've got Champ, Dan, Jimmy Blue, Jose, Interested Party, and Andrew T.C. Wilson. Oh, look at MR. Oh, MR, you came close, buddy. But not close enough. All right. Oh, and I also have to get these pocket pingers in, too. We'll do the pocket pingers before we do the silver. All right. That's good. All right. So
I'm gonna bail on you. By the
you're
way,
going to bail.
Academy is from northern New Mexico. They've been producing these stacking bars for over 30 years.
Really? Wow.
And, they
Interesting.
apparently aren't producing them now. I guess it was a refinery.
Okay.
But maybe Scottsdale's done some business with them or something.
Oh, we broke 500, so I got to get another round out. Hold on a second here. We'll do that one as well. But before we do, I got to escort Tim out, make sure the guards are able to let you out. The Rottweilers are put away.
It's
the dogs.
concerned more about the dogs.
Yeah, all right, I'll take
Because
care
you
of the
don't
dogs.
feed them enough.
I feed them silver. All right, we'll be right back. Hang tight, guys. Don't go anywhere if you want a chance to win on the wheel. All right? See you in a few minutes. All right, we are back. So we did the sticker. Now let's do 3 pocket pingers. And I need to tell you something about the pocket pingers. So let's hope you guys win. But if you don't win a pocket pinger, there is going to be a way that you can buy one and get some free silver along with it. I'm going to give you a link in the chat. Okay, a link in the chat. The first 5 people to buy a pocket pinger with that link will get some free silver and a fake silver, $50, in order to test out the pocket pinger with it. But you'll also get a free 90% silver $50 with your purchase of a pocket pinger. If, of course, you don't win, right? So I will give that link out right after we spin for these 3 pocket pingers. So you can choose either black or pink just let me know if you win, and I'll get one of those out to you. So hold on here. Let's go back. Andrew T.C. Wilson, Professor Drew, congratulations on winning that sticker. We'll remove you. This is for a pocket pinger. Let's go. And I'm going to get that special link. Here's that special link. Yeah, that'll come up handy. I'm sure 3 people are going to be happy to win and not buy one, but they are definitely worth getting. If you don't have a pocket pinger, I highly recommend you get one to test out your metals. What the question? And karaoke 2003. It looks like karaoke 2003. It's a pocket pinger. Email me your mailing address. We'll get one out to you. Karaoke. Spin again for a second pocket pinger. Afterwards, I'll show you. I have not pinged the gold Liberty that Tim gave me. I will do that one live here. All right, we've got Grizz and Ryan and God's Doghouse, Christine, James, Toolie. Oh, Toolie. That was close. It looks like it's going to be, what is that? Chase Usafa? Am I pronouncing that wrong? I probably am. Chasu, I'm butchering it, but Chasusafa. You want a pocket pinger. Email me your mailing address. One more spin for the third and final pocket pinger for tonight. Listen to this ping. Listen. That's the double gold eagle, the Liberty. Sounds absolutely beautiful. There's a new Android app, by the way, for the pocket pinger. And, of course, you can get one for the iPhone as well to test and sense your metal. So Metal Matte, you just won the final pocket pinger. Congratulations. All right, so let's come back here. We got Little Stacks in the house. What are you doing here, buddy? You don't like that? Oh, that's to help Tim. Hey, I got something for you.
You have something for me?
Yeah, from Mrs. Tiger.
Oh, I gotcha. Does this thing lean back?
Huh?
Does it lean back? Or am I, like, stuck? Aha. Wow, that's tight.
That's Yankee. Did I put it back in the folder? Just wait. Put it back.
I'm waiting.
All right, here you go. Yeah, there you go.
Okay.
You can read it while I keep spinning winners here.
What's this? Oh, okay. I can read it?
I got it. Well, yeah, there's a note from Mrs. Tiger Stacker, right? So, all right. So, anyway, let's so, yes. Pocket pinger. Love it. And here's the link. If you want to buy one, the first 5 people to buy with this link gets free silver. I'm going to put it in the chat
Have
right
you read
now.
this?
You could hold on.
Sorry.
I'm going to put it in the chat. Mods, please help me out if you want to repost this. But there is the link. Oops, did I mess that up? Let me do it again. There's the link. One more time. Boom. That link right there. It's not rigged, Darren. Come on. You click that. The first 5 people to do it will win free silver along with their order on the pocket pinger. All right. There it is. Good luck. Top 5. All right. So let's switch back. Actually, no. What's next here? We're going to do the pocket pingers. Let's do the 5 silver dimes. 5 silver dimes. Boop. All right. What do you think?
It's funny. Have you read it?
Yes, I read it live to everybody.
That's funny.
Yeah. You weren't around, so. Tiger Stacker. He's determined to pit you against me.
Should I not open this?
She even offered. No, you can look at it.
Well, I
Take it
shouldn't
out.
take it out. Okay.
You can take it out if you want. Tonka's, I can give you a coin capsule if you really want it. Precious Classics is going to win the 5 silver dimes. Precious Classics, congrats. Email your mailing address to me. Now let's do a single Benji. Benji time. Spin for that. Give away a Benji, 90%. A Dogecoin. Great. Just what you want to see. All right, so we got Big Mike, Keith, Tremor 7.0, Teresa, and Mountain Dreams. I don't think Mountain Dreams is going to hold on to it. No, it's going to be AC0GV. Kenny. I'll just call you Kenny. You won the $50. Congratulations. Now let's do 2 Kennedys. 2 Kennedy 90% $50. Spin it. Then we'll get to the magnets, the signed magnets. Those are really cool. Actually, I didn't sign the Yankee, but I will later. Maybe we'll give one of those away too. We got Ray Bar. Good to see you in here, Ray Bar. John, Echo, Jeff, Harry Green. And it looks like Diner P. Diner P with the win, 2 Kennedy $50. Put that in the tray. Now, we'll start out with the Yankee magnet from Almost Homestead. The Yankee holding a silver bar. I love it. Okay. Shuffle it up a bit and spin. We're at 524.11 for the Super Chat total. If I missed any Super Chatters, I will check right after we get through these magnets. I want to thank you for all that you're doing here. Check Stackers in the house. Good to see you. Heather Wells, Richard Mart, William Black, and it looks like John Baden might hold on to it. It's coming down to the wire. Nope. Looks like Kurt Ono IR pulls it out and gets the Yankee magnet. Congratulations, Kurt. All right, let's spin for the signed Tim magnet. Iconic signed. I love this one. This is really good. That's a very popular magnet. It's right on Tim's own safe. You see it all the time when I'm filming. Signed by him. I'll put that right there. Okay, who do we got going here? We've got Commentator Steve, Norman, Brandon, Jesse, Space Ghost, America King Kong, and Dean. Dean, looks like Dean's going to win the magnet. Congrats, Dean. All right, and then the other magnet we're going to give away is this guy right here. Very cool. I don't think Tim liked this one as much as the other, but I liked it. I think it's a really good one. Right, off with Dean. Spin again. This is for the magnet. And then, what was the thing I was going to do? No. 524. Shoot. I was going to do it after the magnets. I can't remember. Oh, my goodness. I'm getting old. Super chats. Gotta read out the super chats. Abutado and James Moore. James Moore is gonna get the final magnet of the night. James, congratulations. Please make sure you email me your mailing address. Super chat time now. So we had Check Stacker, super chat at $5. Woohoo! We have 3 checks in the house. Kui to my friends from Prague. I probably butchered that. Good to see you, Czech. Love. Did you have fun at the militia meetup last month? Yeah, I loved having everybody there. That's a lot of fun. Make sure if you want to get in on those meetups, consider a Yankee Cannon or Buffalo Bullet membership today. We'll be setting up another one this month. Ashley Baker super chatted $2. Thank you, Ashley. Sauerkraus super chatted $10. Started stacking about 2 months ago after finding your channel. Well, that makes me feel good. Converted around 30% of fiat to a mix of silver sovereigns and pre-33 gold. Thanks to you and Tim being a great resource as I learn. It's my privilege, really, honestly. I am so super stoked to have a channel where I can help people and have a lot of fun and give back. Give silver back to people. And when I hit 200,000, give gold away. I've given gold away like 4 times, I think, as my channel has grown. A couple times, a full ounce of gold. This is going to be a fun one at 200,000 subscribers. Don't miss it. I'm going to get to it probably this summer. Looking forward to that live stream. But thanks, Sauerkraus, for that $10. And Martha Price, super chat at $2. Tim is the only one I believe I can trust. I trust Tim too. I'm so glad you have someone like Tim that you can trust. Thank you so much for watching. Let's do some silver now. This is the half ounce. Wolf. I think that's a wolf. Doesn't say it, but it's got to be a wolf. Canada, wolf. Half ounce. Let's do it. Take away James. This one will start shuffling a bit more. All right, do a little more shuffles. And here we go. Good luck. And then after that, we'll do another half ounce, and then another half ounce, and then 2 1 ounces. That ET round's going to make a great birthday gift for someone. Our kid would love that. Actually, or a kid at heart. Stacker Louie, Val, Joe Moore, Pamela Gray, George Williams, and Mark M. Mark M wins the half ounce. Congrats. Next comes the Special Forces. Let's do that. Half ounce. Here we go. Half ounce. It's really cool. I have a few of these. These are really neat. Love the star and the maple leaf on that design. All right. We've got Tony, Dennis, Jared, J-Butt, Toy Barn, Hot Rods, and Jason Pate. Jason Pate's going to win. Congratulations, Jason. This is yours. Email me your mailing address. We'll get that out to you. Tray is filling up, guys. The tray is filling up. Whoops. Knock this over. All right. Now the Eagle. Again, Canada. Half ounce. Let's do it. Super chat from Billy D's Detecting Adventures. Thank you for that $2. I really appreciate it. Okay, we are spinning. Maria, Derek, Gary, no description available. D, James, Charles, Ken, Hulk Hogan. Do I have Hulk Hogan in the house? Wow. And 4 newbie 5 stole it from Hulk Hogan. Watch out, 4 newbie 5. Congratulations. Got that Eagle half ounce coin there. That's really pretty. And now let's do a series of Morgan 1 ounce rounds. These are very pretty rounds. Very pretty rounds. I love the Morgan style rounds. I'm going to do 1, 2, 3. Actually, no. Should I do those first? No, let's finish up with Tim. Sorry. NASA round or NASA coin. We'll do that. 2022. NASA coin and then the ET. Then we'll do mine. Okay, right across, and then we'll do ST Bullions. All right. That's the thing. So the first one is the NASA round. Sorry, coin. Let's shuffle it up. Spin it. Here we go. Let's see here. I gave tea to Tim with a little honey in it, and he got so excited, he got so involved, he didn't even drink half of it, hardly any of it. I think he forgot. We got Space Ghost Supreme, Dave, Dustin Turner. Can Dustin hold on? Can he hold on and get the NASA coin? He did. Dustin Turner. He won the NASA coin. Email me your mailing address. Everybody that emails me with a win, let me know what you won. I'll verify it against my own list, but that helps me really quickly to know how to set up the spreadsheet for Mrs. Yankee to do the mailing. So Thank you. And now the ET. Who's interested in this? Put ET in the chat right now if you want to win. Come on, Ray Barr. Whoa. Ray Barr. Yankees rigged wheel lies? Ray, you won once. How dare you? How could you say that? No, don't do that. Ray. That's just mean right there. That's just mean. All right, so I see ET's rolling in the chat. All right, let's do this. Shuffle this one up really well. Big thanks to Tim for his generosity here with these giveaways. That was really nice of him. I'm going to need a second tray. Gonna need a second tray. Here we go. All right, so we've got T-Bird, John, Trimmer, KW, Bozo's Big Top, PMG, Tonka Zen, and Tucson Bubba. Tucson Bubba's going to win the ET coin. Congratulations. All right, now let's get into these. And where am I up to? I'm up to 528. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's it. Let's do these right in succession. So I'm going to shuffle, and then I'm just going to spin 5 times. 5 times. Okay? Here we go. Not rigged if I don't win. Okay, Russ. Oh, man. My turn, Yankee. I don't know, SR. Let's go. Here we go. Oh, I'd just like to see my name on the wheel. Bullion Brent. Everybody says that. Bullion Brent. Okay, if you were here on time, I'm going to check your name. John Michael Karma and Permanently Patrick. It looks like Permanently Patriotic. Sorry. Permanently Patriotic is going to win the first Morgan round. What was his name? Bullion what? What was that? Bullion? I usually don't do this, but I get more comments from people saying, "Oh, I just wish I could see I don't think my name's on there. Where's my name? Oh, I just want to show one person, just so you can see what I'm talking about. What was his name? Bullion. I'm still looking. I don't think I always win. Let's see. I'm looking through the chat now. I just like to say Bullion Brent. Okay. All right. Sort. Okay. Can we just ease up? Okay. Your name's right there, buddy. All right. Let me shuffle it. Now, you might not see it all the time because when it goes into this little gray section on the left, the vortex of names, it bounces around there and it spits out. If I didn't do that, there are so many names, 1,000 plus, you wouldn't be able to read anybody's name on the wheel. So that's why that's there. So let's shuffle this up and continue with the Morgans. Let's go. Second Morgan round. Did you guys have fun with Tim? Was it fun? Put Tim in the chat if you enjoyed having Tim on Ask Yankee tonight. Tim. Or those of you, my members put the emoji, Tim emoji in there. Scott, Night Flyer, Buy Up Gold and Silver. And it looks like Buy Up Gold and Silver is going to win one of the Morgan rounds. All right, let's remove that and spin again for a third one. All right, I'm seeing the Tims. There we go. Thank you, by the way, again, for my mods. MR, I don't know. He gives me a hard time. He's part of Rig Nation, so I don't know. Ellie, love ya. My Silver Journey, doing a great job. Thank you. John Ruck, as always. Thank you. Check Stacker, you guys are the best. All right, 949 Designs. Oh, it looks like Dale E. McCombs is going to win the third Morgan round. Congrats, Dale. Let's spin another one. The fourth Morgan round. Let's see. And Tiger, of course. Tiger's a mod, too. Why I gave him the wrench, he and MR, I must have been, out of my mind when the wrench went there. And Thule, the mod of all mods. Good to see you in here, Thule. You almost won one of the spins. I saw your name really close. Jeff Laporte and Scrap Metal Racing. Scrap Metal Racing is going to win the 4th Morgan 1-ounce round. Good job. Email me your mailing address, Scrap Metal. And here comes the 5th one. Now, this one's a little bit different style. I think it's from, SMI. So, just a different look to it, but still very, very pretty. I'll show you when I'm done. This is the last of the Morgan rounds that we're giving away tonight. If I hit 600, I'll have to pull a sovereign coin out or something. I don't know. Karen Kloss, Paul Bald. Paul Bald 2. Not Paul Bald. Paul Bald 2 didn't win. Rick R did, though. Rick R with the win. Congratulations, Rick R. Email me your mailing address. You get this one. It's a little bit different than the others, but still a very nice 1-ounce silver round. Now, the last one is going to be this, the 1-ounce Scottsdale Stacker. This is so cool. Once you buy, whoever wins this is going to want to buy another one just so they can fit them together, okay? This one's not the one you're going to get. This one's just to represent it. But just so you see, I bought a whole tube of them. Fantastic to have. Absolutely. I think I said to Josh Fair, the CEO of Scottsdale, during our live stream on Silver Pros, I said, this is the round of the year, in my opinion. Absolutely love it. All right, so let's see who's going to win that. This is, again, from ST Bullion. U.S. on this one only for mailing addresses. And please, the winner, email me your mailing address and phone number, because I'm going to be sending that off to SD Bullion, and they like to be able to contact you if they have any issues. So it's just for this winner right here, the phone number. So that's it. And again, open to U.S. mailing only on this one. So good luck, everyone. This is a nice giveaway. Love this round. All right, Sloppy Thumbs. We've got Douglas. We got Jimmy Blue. We got Levi Smith. We got Boge. Not Doge, Boge, but it looks like Leonardo Martinez. Leonardo Martinez, you won the beautiful Scottsdale Stacker, Eagle Stacker. Congratulations. Email me your mailing address and phone number. And that's it, guys. So we've got an overflow here. We had a full tray. We've got this extra tray. This is the giveaway trays. I'll be getting that to Mrs. Yankee, and she can have fun mailing those out. Thank you guys so much for joining me on Ask Yankee. It's been a lot of fun. And I hope your day is A-okay, guys. Have a great night. Take care.